When COVID was analyzed and sequenced, we didn't receive a virus in a petri dish. We received an equation, a code, over the internet. And based on that code, we built the mRNA that would actually create the spike protein and create the immunogenic response that is the vaccine.
Normally vaccines take like a decade to make. It's only an incredibly long process. So for us to go from, here's the sequence of the virus to a shipment of GMP grade material to the clinic in 42 days is just staggering. And then to finish the clinical trials and get something authorized within the next 6-9 months from that is just unprecedented. And so when the challenge of COVID came, what we did is we took the sequence that we got from the Chinese authorities, we put it into this system, we turned the crank as fast as we can. And all those algorithms, and all those tools, and all that digital infrastructure that we did, all came to life to really move this through as quickly as possible.
During the pandemic, probably every day was a battle. But when your timelines are so linked to, the world, you think differently about your work. I mean, in the first 9 months when we were responding to COVID, I've never seen a company that it felt like every single person you talked to was truly working toward the same goal.
There were some challenges. Obviously, at that time, everybody was kind of struggling with the capacity, but those were overcome fairly quickly.
The key is to prioritize the work that, removes errors and allows operators on the shop floor, for example, to do their job easier and better. I think putting the safety of patients first is essential. I think de-risking supply wherever we can, was essential. Having worked in the GMP world and being, part of such a rapid response at Moderna, you always have to remember that a regulator is going to read what you're doing.
During COVID, we've been working extremely hard to get to approval. And I think we had this sense of purpose and a sense of duty at the same time to deliver on COVID.
We've had 2 visits with the agency. They came for an informational visit when we were really getting ready to file our emergency use application. And they were citizens, they were partners. It was really profound for me, who have spent my career dealing with inspectors. The fact that they were clearly there to challenge us and make sure we were doing the right things, but they were there to help.
But I remember listening to the VRBPAC meeting for the Moderna EUA, eagerly awaiting the vote that came at the end. But what was really amazing and surreal is these colleagues like Jackie Miller and Melissa Moore, who are brilliant colleagues here at Moderna, to have them stand before the world and kind of talk about the vaccine that we produced. Like, that was incredible to hear. And then to see the vote come through was a real moment of achievement for us.
The next day of the approval, we were shipping product to the US government, actually, and the logistic around this. So the focus was immediately on how we start shipping everything that we have in our stock, in our inventory, to make sure that they get to people.
I think the sense of pride and the sense of satisfaction that, the hard work for last many months where, has just paid off was amazing. I think that whole feeling just was special. And I don't think I will ever forget that.